Okay. Well, welcome everybody. I'll get to the introductions in just a moment. You know that today we will be discussing Lexmark's current and future use of SAP HANA from a business value perspective and what they're trying to achieve. But I'd like to paraphrase a bit from AT&T Corporation. And they remind us that it's not complicated. They remind us it's not complicated. And they tell us more is better than less, because if stuff is not less, if there's more or less stuff, then you might want to have some more. And your systems don't let you because there's just only a little bit. We want more. We want more. Like you really like it. You want more. Right? Okay, how many? Come on. 18, come on. The little girl, right? Come on. And that's what HANA is all about. We've gone through the age with SAP of transactional control and superiority. It's time to unlock the data. And we've been on that journey as they've emerged with HANA over the last several years. And now we're seeing the fruits of those labors. And it's very effective for business and business value. My name is Richard Jabor. I'm the Director of Enterprise Performance Management Practice at Tata Consultancy Services. We've been on a journey with Lexmark since 2008, a big journey. Joining me is Darren Chapman, who is the manager of the SAP Center of Excellence at Lexmark. He's going to be telling you their story today. Under his leadership at Lexmark, he manages a vast array of SAP products that are tightly integrated to deliver Lexmark the business value they need. And HANA's important to that and becoming more and more critically important. So welcome Darren Chapman to present. Thank you.
Thanks, Richard. Before I jump into our SAP and HANA journey, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about Lexmark. If we go to the, I guess I don't have a clicker here. So we're located in, headquartered in Lexington, Kentucky. We're founded in 1991. We're a spinoff from IBM's old printer business. Our distribution is global. We cover 170 plus countries, 12,000 employees, and our revenues last year were about $3.8 billion. From a strengths perspective, we are very customer focused. We own our own IP, which gives us flexibility to build solutions specific to our customers, actually in the devices themselves. So we realized that a long time ago that customers were looking to print less. Printing is going down, and quite frankly, if we didn't do something about it, our business would probably die. So we challenged ourselves internally to really look at that and say, how can we add value to for the customer around printing and solutions. So one of the things that we do is our managed print service business. And what we realized was that customers didn't really want to manage the devices, they didn't really want to own the devices, they didn't want to manage toner, and so we do that for them, right? So the customer basically buys pages. And this has really allowed us to take cost out of the printing value chain, if you will. So we've implemented managed print services within Lexmark, and we've taken 50% of the cost out of our printing. So what that does is that allows us to work with our customers to help them print less, save more, and in hopes of gaining their confidence and their trust in us so that we can deliver higher value add solutions. So with our managed print service business, we can, it's secure, you print, you take your badge, you scan it, and your output follows you to wherever you are within the company. In addition to that, we've also aggressively acquired over the last 3 years several software companies that helps us complement our solutions. One of those, the first one was Perceptive Software, that provides enterprise content management for around structured and unstructured data. Brainware is another that provides intelligent capture. So what that does is paper's not going away. So it allows us to be able to scan AP invoices, orders, resumes, and the software is intelligent enough to extract that data, figure out what it is, and then send it and route it to the correct place. So for accounts payable, that means posting it directly into SAP, which takes the human data entry errors out of the process. Some of the other companies, ISIS provides enterprise content search. Acquo is a recent one that provides rich data content around medical records and things like that. So whether it's an MRI, CAT scans, and putting that in more of an open platform where we can share it across, doctors can share that across different facilities and different doctors. So how does this all come together? It allows us to deliver solutions in and around the device itself. So one example is, we were putting apps on devices long before anyone, before that really meant anything. So for instance, on our devices, we have a time and expense app. So when I get back from this trip, I'll enter my expense report. I'll go to the device. I'll hit the time and expense app, scan my receipts. The system will process that, create a workflow, send it to my manager. He approves it, and I get my check, right? So we're doing similar things in different industries, whether that's loan processing, whether it's things in healthcare. So that allows us to deliver a lot more value. So I'm going to let Richard come back up and talk a little bit about our journey.
Okay. Check, check. So let's make sure we understand how this has progressed over the course of years. So early on, and Darren and I have been there the whole time, in 2008, Lexmark embarked on a journey to decommission 3 separate instances of another company's ERP system to move towards harmonization of data in the SAP platform across basically every region of the world into one instance of SAP with all of the complexities that entails. And doing that over a span of 30 months. And as I said, and that's quite significant, as I said, and he's telling you they're on a transformation of their business journey. SAP's along for the ride with them on that. And now that they have transactional control, one version of the truth, it's now time to start unlocking those versions of the truth so that they can manage their business. And that's what other people are doing. They need real-time inventory, not day-old inventory. Maybe they need more complex inventory reports like Lexmark needs, and that this conversation today is now going to be about. So it's a significant journey, and now they're to the point where it is adding value by data in front of them and action because of that data.
Right. So if you think about some of the business challenges that we've had, a lot of them were, like Richard mentioned, was just access to real-time data. One of the other things that we also wanted to do is to leverage the business objects tool set to have a more self-service analytics environment. So instead of the business continuing to come to my team to have us build reports, we wanted to provide tools for them to be able to explore data and look for patterns on their own. So most of these you've probably seen before. So coming to SAPPHIRE, we've heard the HANA story for several years now. So obviously we were a bit skeptical. So the question was, well, how do we kind of dip our toe into in the water and figure out, okay, will HANA work for Lexmark? How do we do that without significant expenditures and also adding risks to the process? So what we did was we leveraged Tata Consulting's labs in Cincinnati, right? So we gave them an extract of data from our business warehouse environment, and we put that on a hard drive, and they took it up to their labs, and 2 to 3 weeks later we went up and they were able to show us some reports in a very short amount of time that they didn't run in our BW environment, right? And we were looking at data and slicing it and dicing it and drilling down, and so we immediately made a decision to move forward with with HANA. And so the next step was really to look at how can we deliver value faster. So we worked with SAP to use one of their rapid deployment solutions. You know, we picked 5 reports that we thought had a really good cross-section across the business that we could deliver value faster. So in a matter of 10 to 12 weeks after that, we had reports up and running on HANA in production, and that was just a little bit just a little bit more than a little bit less than a year ago, and we've been continuing to build reports on our enterprise HANA environment ever since.
So now take it to more the generic concept. He mentions the RDS solution. It comes with certain reports provided. So what he's going to get into is the complexity of their supply chain and what they need to do with their component parts that are widely distributed around the world. It goes far beyond the 2 or 3 or 4 tables of, you know, inventory management report in old ECC. Or, hey, I could put it this way. Day-old bread, freshly baked bread. And this is what we're seeing in HANA, is that people are moving towards real-time data. I mean, we have a 5-second exchange when a transaction hits to the HANA system. That's real-time. Reports that run in 15 minutes on day-old information, he'll talk about, now are running in 5 seconds on real-time data. Oh, well, this report took 45 days to run. No, what's the real practical reality we need to achieve? So, as you move deeper into the product that he'll talk about, we can now see the success that can be had. Now other tools are coming available. BPC on HANA, that's an initiative they'll take on. Transactional throughput using the hybrid database is very important. So generically, for all of the businesses that you represent, there are opportunities to unlock your data at real-time speeds to get you over these humps of not being able to see it, not being able to act on it.
So if you look at some of the business benefits, there's some key ones there, especially from an inventory perspective. You know, given that we're on a single global instance of SAP, we actually load data by geography. So some of our key financial reports, we have a report that we call our Global Flash. We load Asia Pacific first, so that by the time they get in the morning, they've got their local flash, if you will. And then we load Europe, and then we load the US. And then it's not until we load the US that we truly have a global flash. So if you're a manager in Asia Pacific, right, you're always looking at least a day-old global version of the flash, if you will. So with HANA, that's significantly accelerated that, and it allows us to make the real-time decisions, especially towards the end of the month or the end of the quarter, when we're trying to ship out those last devices. It's also accelerated from a finance perspective. It's also accelerated our ability to close, and the changes that they make in the system, they're reflected instantly. So I talked a little bit about self-service, but here's an example of a web intelligence report that's in our HANA environment that, again, it was a report that didn't run very well. I think that it has the times up there, right? The 3 to 5 minutes is kind of a misnomer, right? Because for some of the smaller plants or distribution facilities, right, reports would run, kind of really fast anyway. But for our larger areas like the U.S., things would run for 10 or 15 minutes, and now those things are down under 3 to 4 seconds, with the capability to drill down and explore the data and look for things that you just couldn't do before while you're drinking your coffee waiting on the report to run. So this has been a significant value add to the business, and it hasn't taken away the spreadsheets, but it's allowed the business to actually source the data from our enterprise systems, and then if they want to further analyze it, then they can go up and do that. Richard, anything you want to add on this slide?
I would just continue to emphasize fresh bread, day-old bread. I mean, look at this slide. I don't really care about a 3 to 5 minute inventory level, 1 day old, and I know their business. They don't need 1 day old. If they've got to move a series of components from one of their customers that are still not deployed to another that has an immediate need, day-old inventory is not going to help them. They're making those decisions in real time. So 3 to 4 seconds, real time. That's what to focus on. These things are happening very fast in the HANA system now. Yeah.
Right, and that's another thing. You know, the extraction time to BW is completely gone. Right, so the inventory posts in SAP, and it's immediately in HANA within a second. So those processes that happen at the end of the month, end of the quarter, are truly real time, and you know when that day is done, you really know what's already in the system. So our HANA journey actually continues. So our next steps is we're actually exploring BW on HANA. We actually have a proof of concept. We like to do proofs of concept at Lexmark, and this is one we're actually exploring putting that in the cloud. So that's something that within the next couple of weeks we'll have an idea of how well BW works on HANA and how well the infrastructure as a whole works in the cloud. So BW and HANA versus my enterprise HANA also gives me choices that we need to make and trade-offs that we need to make within the business. So we're looking at, okay, you know, based on where the data currently is and what the business is asking for, what's the right place to deliver that data in enterprise HANA or in BW on HANA. The other thing too, I'll jump down to HANA is allowing us to also start to explore some predictive analytics scenarios, especially around pricing and claims and rebates and things like that, and fraud detection, because now we have the speed to be able to go and start to analyze that type of data. Richard?
So, in the amount of time provided, right, we try to give the insight in what's happening out there. And there's a lot more detail, and we hope you'll join for the Q&A after this, because the details of their supply chain is quite complex, and the data availability they need. We're excited to continue to work with them out of our solution lab in Cincinnati, which is close to their headquarters as well, and we go back and forth from time to time. And hopefully many of these initiatives will come to bear fruit, and that you'll hear from Lexmark again and again, as they, I think it's fair to say, have always been trying to push to the leading edge of where SAP is. So we're wrapping up a little early, but I want you to all, should I do it again? Should I do it again? You know, should we wrap it up with where we started? It's not complicated, right? Everybody, more is better than less. Okay, because if stuff is not less. So next time you see that commercial, remember, that tells the story of HANA too. More is better than less. And we passed the age of not having more. It's there. It is working, and it's ready. And it's time to unlock transactional data and locked up data, real-time decisions. So join us in the question and answer booth after this session. Thanks for joining. And we appreciate y'all coming in here after lunch. Thanks a lot.